Wow. Nicole Wallace just said, thank God. So now the universe has mashed together and the star at the center has exploded. James, what did you make of tonight?
Well, first of all, I think Rachel made the selling point here. The whole time that the camera was on him, he came across as rude, as petulant, and remember, that camera was on you for the whole 60 minutes. You may talk for half of the time, the camera's on you the whole time. I think that we can say, was Hillary Clinton very good? Was she solid? Was she good? We can argue that degrees, but I think everybody pretty much agrees that Trump was just awful. It's a variation of awful. And everything that I saw and everything I've heard from our panel and the entire discussion, even Chris Christie, who I think had a really tough job, who said, well, yeah, if you want somebody that can put together a coherent thought or sentence, of course not for Hillary Clinton. But that's what you're really looking for.
But you have a switch option.
Exactly.
You like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I kind of like that kind of thing, because I've been in tough spin spots myself, so I kind of felt sorry for the governor there, slightly. But I can't imagine that after what we saw tonight, that the needle doesn't move some. He was just bad, and I've talked to a lot of people that have done a lot of research of these sort of instant things, these dial groups, and I think the view that you're hearing around this panel is pretty much shared by the research thus far that I've seen tonight. Well, I really do, and I thought she was prepared, she was solid, she did a good job, and he just kind of, as he went further into it, the Sarge was right. He just kept, the further it went, the worse it got. I mean, you almost wanted to throw the towel in after 90 minutes. That's enough.
James, you made the point when we first spoke before the debate that you're on camera the entire time. It looked to me during the first volley of questions and answers like he was trying to exhibit facial control, and then that went away. The corollary to him having an awful night is the $64,000 question to you. Was that a future president on stage next to him tonight?
Well, I mean, you know, honestly, I'm crazy about it, but I think she was. It's hard. She was certainly, her detractor would say, yeah, she was good. Somebody from me said, well, no, she was very good. But I don't think there's any doubt that her performance was solid. I mean, I'm going to spin that one way or another. But I mean, she came across as knowledgeable. She was well-spoken. She delivered her lines. She delivered her attacks very well. I think more stunning than her being good was just how awful he was. And, you know, going back to the point I made earlier and Rachel made, you just made, television, that's a 90-minute business. And I don't know if someone told him to watch his reaction shots or that he realized that he was going to be on television the whole time. But, you know, parents are sitting there watching that or teach their kids to be polite or anything that happens around the country. I mean, watching him, it was really remarkable to see. And he kept grimacing and shaking his head around, and I mean, it was really like almost a third grader. It was a remarkable thing to see. And Nicole, you know, this race is on a pretty fixed axis, but I would be disappointed and mild surprised if you didn't see some change as a result of 100 million people watching this. I think it's had to have some effect. I really do. And you know, you shouldn't predict these kind of things, particularly on television. But there were a lot of people that saw the same thing that we saw tonight, and I can't believe that their conclusions are not going to be similar.
James, if you were trying to make the most political hay out of this evening, as you say, I think a lot of people are scoring this well for Clinton and poorly for Trump, just in broad strokes. But that temperament, facial tic, sighing and making those outbursts and stuff, it's hard for me to imagine how you make hay with that, how you make an ad out of that. For example, I mean, other options for Clinton, I was thinking about that moment where she said, I feel like I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened by the end of this evening. Trump comes in and goes, why not? There was also the moments when he sort of bragged about not paying taxes, said that would make him smart, that he doesn't pay taxes. Do you run with one of those things, or do you run with the fact check stuff, or what do you do?
Yeah, Rachel, 100 million people saw this. And I think that there are a lot of conclusions that are going to be drawn here all around, you know, living rooms and dining rooms and all around the country tonight and tomorrow morning. The conversation and what we're saying tonight is being repeated everywhere else. I don't know that you want to go out and make an ad about the whole thing. because I think the impressions are set in on Trump, and I think tonight just had reinforced those. But I don't know if she needs to overly spike the ball. I mean, 2 more debates to come. He's got to get better. I mean, he literally, Chris Christie and everybody said that, you know, they're going to kind of retool the thing. They can't have another one this bad, and it just can't happen. And I guess you got to repeat that Romney, you know, won the first debate and he lost the election. So you want to be careful not to gloat too much here. You want to be careful to prepare just as hard for the second debate and the third debate as you did for the first debate. And I think that's an important thing to keep focused on.
James Carville, thank you. I hope it has stopped raining in Scottsdale. It's awfully
No, it's
good.
nice. That's fine now. It's a nice, cool night out here in the desert in September. It's very nice. Thank
Awful
you.
good to see you and to be able to depend on your advice and counsel. Hugh Hewitt among those watching and listening with us. Hugh, I can't wait to hear what you're going to say, but what are you going to say?
I'm going to say I'm with Nicole and Chuck. I've been to this movie so many times. I've been in this movie so many times. And when the numbers don't move tomorrow, the inner ring is going to bang their head on the table and say, how could they not move? We all agreed Hillary Clinton won. Here's what I think happened. I think Donald Trump won the first. I clocked it at 39 minutes when birtherism came up. He blew that badly, terribly, and it turned the debate around. She then delivered a knockout blow on speaking to our strategic allies, but it was at about minute 85. I want to see where the audience went. Did the audience stay with the show for the entire 95 minutes that it went? But I will not be surprised in the least if the needle doesn't move. And I have to tell a Carville story. I was with James and Mary Madeline the day after the first debate 4 years ago, moderating a conversation between those two, in which Carville said then, and I'm sure he remembers it, the phones are lighting up in President Obama's office with all the different advice on how to improve his performance. It doesn't mean a thing. Didn't mean a thing. In 4 weeks, it's all different. Could be completely different. Now, I don't do a very good Carville, but I remember him very well. And I think tomorrow the needle stays the same, except for the people in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Ohio, which were name checked. And I realize that the pundit class all thinks Donald Trump lost. I thought he lost a lot of debates that I was on the stage for, and he won them. So let's just go with Chuck Todd's. We're in the surreal zone that we have not been before, and Nicole's caution. I think that's the better mix rather than John Podesta. I mean, it was just lunatic for John Podesta to say that Donald Trump wasn't coming for the next 2 debates. That's the worst spin of the night, if we're going to grade spin. Chris Christie had the hardest mountain to climb, but he did much better spin than John Podesta.
Hugh, I turned to Rachel Maddow and said, wow, when you said you agreed with me, because I feel like we haven't always been on the same page this year, which troubles me. But I want to know if you think that the Never Trump people, many of our mutual friends, if you think any of them might become Hillary Clinton supporters after what they saw tonight on the narrow question of foreign policy and national